If you've been following me for a while, you know I've got a deep love for the Sonic the Hedgehog film franchise, and am overall a video game movie enthusiast. Assuming that you too love video game movies, you may also be aware of the curse of sorts that loomed over them for many years. We all know Hollywood's always been about adapting established stories and properties into film, but for whatever reason, when it came to video game movies, they went above and beyond to completely sidestep the source material, creating hollow, tasteless, gimmicky, shallow, watered-down schlock, passing it off to the audience as the game you love, but in movie form. But that all came to an end, mostly, when Paramount and a certain blue hero came forth to lift the video game movie curse and prove to Hollywood that with the right amount of effort and respect for the source material, that faithful adaptations were not only possible, but profitable. And I think I've covered most of the major ones from the past 5 years on this channel. All except one. A story about a simple, hard-working Joe, tired of his mundane life, seeking new thrills, and flung into a vibrant, action-packed world beyond his comprehension. I'm of course talking about Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds. Yes! It's not adapted from a game in real life, but a fictional mashup of games like GTA, Fortnite, and... You must think you're really funny. Yeah, you hear that? Nobody's laughing at your fake out. No one gives a fuck about these cold opens. Shut yo! We got Rebel Taxi at home, head ass. Oh, Walmart grade value, Saber Spark sounding ass up. And get to the review and stop wasting people's time. This is why in 2 years you haven't even made it past 1,000 subs. You're a loser. Give up. Go work at Burger King. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, from Nintendo in collaboration with Illumination Entertainment. Insert Minions joke here. From its initial announcement to its theatrical release, this had to be one of the most highly anticipated video game movies of the past 5 years, based on Nintendo's Golden Boy, and one of the most beloved gaming franchises of all time, the brave little plumber who single-handedly saved us from the video game crash of the 80s. Don't let this glazing fool you, we're still in a situationship. $80 fucking!
No, they wildin', bro.
$80 fucking! This, of course, wouldn't be Mario's first foray into film. Back in the day, as he and his games rose to popularity, Nintendo would be approached by many an exec to get a film project going as soon as possible. The resulting film was released in 1993 to mixed to negative reviews and bombed in ticket sales, but has gained a massive cult following over the years. Now, I've never seen it, but if given the chance, I'm game to watch it. Get it? Get it, 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 get it? After that, amongst other partnership experiments, Nintendo would become extremely protective of their IPs, opting to never allow any Western studios a chance at adapting any of their characters in any way, shape, or form. Fast forward to the late 2010s. Universal Studios would approach Nintendo with the idea to create Mario-themed attractions for their line of amusement parks. This naturally led to Nintendo's own Shigeru Miyamoto meeting with Illumination's Chris Meledandri. Miyamoto felt a kindred spiritship with Meledandri, as he felt they shared a similar creative process, and thusly, they began talking possibilities. Movie possibilities. Then, in 2017, reports began circulating that Nintendo would be collaborating with Illumination for a brand new, fully animated Super Mario Bros. Movie. Now I ask you, dear viewer, where were you when you heard that not only were we getting a new Mario Bros. Movie, but a fully animated one? That's almost unheard of in this day and age. The default for Hollywood with video game movies has always been live action and CGI, which almost instantly destroys the hype. Think back to Sonic, Monster Hunter, Detective Pikachu. 2 out of 3 of those movies ended up doing well, but that's not the point here. Why was this the norm for them? I love the Sonic movies as they are, but come on! Wouldn't it have been so much better to see those animated? The vibrant, colorful world of Sonic was totally ignored in favor of a by-the-numbers live-action CG hybrid family film. Again, still one of the best film franchises in years. but just imagine how much more they'd be able to do if they were fully animated movies. So the assurance that the Mario Brothers movie was going to be animated gave many people hope. Even if Illumination doesn't have the best reputation when it comes to movies outside of Despicable Me, fans were also assured that Nintendo and Miyamoto would be heavily involved, which would also mean production would be kept under heavy wraps. You know how those Nintendo ninjas are. Little to no info about the movie was known until 2021, where Michael Jelinek and Aaron Horvath were tapped to direct the film, along with Ed Scudder as head of story and Matt Fogel as lead screenwriter. Many of you might know Michael and Aaron as the developers of the Cartoon Network classic Teen Titans Go. The less I say about that show, the better. Side tangent, stop waiting for Teen Titans Season 6 to happen.
It won't. It just won't. It's alright.
Matthew was already well known for work on other animated movies like the Lego Movie and Minions Rise of Gru. And Ed Scudder actually worked at WB Animation with Michael and Aaron, but as head showrunner of the Unikitty show. Oh, and also...
God is dead!
Fast forward to 2022, where they'd announced the official voice cast of the Super Mario Brothers movie. I ask you again, dear viewer, where were you when Illumination would announce to the world the new voice of Mario? I was watching the direct when it happened in my college cafeteria, enjoying my dinner, where they revealed Chris Pratt would be voicing Mario. I looked to the heavens and wailed. I'm partially ashamed to admit that none of that was a joke. I'm not baiting you for clicks. That actually happened. People stared. At the time, I thought that was the worst possible choice to play Mario and reeked of another default rule in Hollywood: celebrity voice actors. More often than not, bankable names with little to no vocal range, using their regular voices to bring these beloved characters to life. It's a tale as old as time, unfortunately. I was glad to see some industry pros were part of the main cast, even Charles Martinet as Mario's father. Every other voice announced were pretty standard Hollywood fodder. Until it came to the voice of Bowser, the man, the myth, the legend, known by many names. JB, Jables, Jablinski, the Dragon Warrior. But we mortals call him Jack Black. The celebrity voice to end all celebrity voices. Could they have gotten Kenny James? Absolutely. But Black in no way phones it in. As for the rest of the cast, well, we'll talk about them later. The movie will release on April 5th, 2023 worldwide, to illustrious praise from fans, but not so much critics. Nothing new. To some, it gave almost everything a Mario fan could want in a film, while to others, the film left much to be desired. What did I think? I'm somewhere in the middle. I mean, I grew up with a handful of Mario games, and I'm even one of the very few who legitimately enjoyed the Super Show. I should be all about this movie, right? Let's talk about it.
I just want to touch you.
The movie opens on Bowser's army invading the Ice Kingdom. After a valiant battle with the Penguin army, Bowser lays waste to the entire castle and steals away their superstar.
I finally found it, and now no one can stop me!
Huh. Nice touch starting off the movie with the theme from the video game.
We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame.
Oh my god, it's the theme from the cartoon Peak Cinema Accent. We then meet the titular brothers Mario and his little bro Luigi, who recently quit their jobs as construction workers to start their own plumbing business. They're mocked by their former boss Spike and their own family for chasing this crazy dream, which especially bothers Mario, who simply wants to prove himself. Luigi's just kinda down for whatever, loyal to the cause, always sticking by his brother's side. They finally get a job in the ritzy part of town, but that goes south quickly when an enraged dog seeks revenge for his accidentally broken toy. Missed opportunity to include the duck hunt dog. Defeated, the bros return home to dinner and mockery from their family.
They give an Oscar for worst actors? What'd I do?
Bro. It's here where we get the most ironic Mario lore drop in history.
Mushrooms.
Everybody loves mushrooms, right?
Mario hates mushrooms? Sucks to suck, don't it? Mario's father's words of discouragement especially get him down, and he retires to his room to play video games.
Oh, wow! That is relatable!
He swaps over to cable and sees a report about a pipe bursting somewhere downtown, and thinks this'll be their big shot. They make their way down to the sewers to face the issue, but get thrown off course, finding an abandoned network of pipes leading further down underground. The brothers get sucked through a large green pipe and into a bizarre subspace, which would soon become just as infuriating for the audience as it is for them because of the sentient piggy banks that keep flying by, and because you have little to no depth perception in this 2D space, it's hard to be precise and hit these damn piggies so you don't get as much caught! Wait, hold on, no. They are then separated as Luigi falls into a pipe bathed in flames, while Mario spat out into a clearing of large, multicolored mushrooms. It's just been one of those days. There, he befriends a sentient mushroom man named Toad, who takes pity on his plight and takes him to the castle to see the princess, whom he's certain can help. Luigi lands in a decrepit land of dead trees and fire, where after a lengthy chase from some dry bones, he's taken hostage by an army of Shy Guys. While he's supposedly being sodomized, Mario's taken on a whimsical tour throughout the Mushroom Kingdom. This will be one of the first full-length looks we ever got of the movie, and I gotta say, didn't disappoint. Coin blocks, pipes, floating platforms, pixelated artwork, and familiar musical motifs are abundant throughout, whilst Mario struggles to keep up with Toad. After a Sweet 64 reference, they finally reach the castle. We finally see the princess, named Peach, and her royal court of toads in the throne room, where they're all in a panic seeing Bowser's headed their way with the superstar. Fearing the worst, Peach plans to get help from the Kong Kingdom to fight off Bowser's armies, as she's supposedly very well skilled in negotiating.
Their mad king doesn't make alliances.
I can convince him. I'll leave for the Jungle Kingdom in the morning.
Well, she's totally convinced me. Anyway, she leaves the royal throne room to do something, when our hero finally reaches her, and it's love at first toss. Mario explains his situation. He and his brother were transported to the world of the Mushroom Kingdom and were separated, with Luigi supposedly being in Bowser's clutches by now. Peach agrees to help Mario, but only after an extensive training tutorial spanning over a day, whilst Bowser's army could show up at any second. Hello? And I'm assuming the Kong Kingdom isn't just 10 minutes away, right? Why are you training this rando when people's lives are at stake? In the perfect emulation of any rookie gamer, Mario struggles through the training course at first. But with the help of the Super Mushroom and the power of Bonnie Tyler music, Mario's able to master the course, proving himself worthy of aiding Peach in her quest. Meanwhile, Bowser and his armies are celebrating the acquisition of the Superstar, as he reveals his intentions to propose to Princess Peach, to the reasonable confusion of his army. As Luigi's being taken hostage, Peach and Mario are preparing to leave the kingdom. Their journey's barely begun before they bump into Toad, who tags along and swears to protect Peach with his life. As they travel through iconic locations like Bob-omb Battlefield and Yoshi Island, Bowser's crooning and gooning the night away.
Peaches, 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 peaches. Ah! Oh, yeah! Oh.
Some people found this to be too silly, but dude, you don't put Jack Black in your movie and don't expect him to sing, come on. Word gets to Jables that Mario's traveling with the princess and he becomes jealous. Elsewhere, our heroic trio make camp for the night, as Peach talks about her origins, wandering into the Mushroom Kingdom as a child before being found by the Toads. Years pass and she grows learning the ways of the Mushroom people, quickly becoming the greatest Mario speedrunner of all time, alert Billy Mitchell, and they make her their princess. Why princess though? Shouldn't she be their queen? And for that matter, who was ruling before she got there? Anyways, Luigi's brought to Bowser, viciously interrogated, and tossed into the dungeon where we meet the best character in the movie, Luma Lee.
In an insane world, it is the saint who is called crazy. There's no sunshine, only darkness. Life in prison is very, very sad.
Boy, if this isn't my mindset 24/7 nowadays. Jump to Mario and Co. as they make it to the Kong Kingdom gates. Boy, this movie jumps more than the plumber it's based on. Accuracy like a motherfucker! The three are brought to the court of Cranky Kong, who first rejects Peach's request for aid in the war against Bowser until Mario pipes up. Amused by this, Cranky challenges Mario to fight his son, and only if he wins will the Kongs fight with Peach, since it would appear the Toads are virtually useless in a fight. So Mario is thrown into the ring against the one, the only, DK! Donkey Kong! DK! Donkey Kong! Hey, hey, DK! Proudly got up in the theater and sang this at the top of my lungs. After getting his overall ass handed to him, he uses the cat bell to knead, loaf, and claw Monkey Cheese into the dirt. Cranky then agrees to help Peach, but only after they all get carts. And this would be the final time we see cart customization in an official Nintendo product.
Go to hell!
As they all drive into battle, Bowser's off doing some kinky roleplay with SML's own Cody Nupkis, then gets notified that Peach won the Kong army to her side, and that they're on the warpath to ambush the Koopa army. Thusly, they end up ambushing the ambush. Question: if Cranky and Peach are able to keep tabs on Bowser and where he is, what's to stop him from keeping tabs on them? Maybe try something a little more conspicuous than a bunch of loud, colorful racing carts? What I'm trying to tell you here is that this was a stupid plan. Amidst the Koopa kart chaos, Mario, DK, Peach, and Toad get out unscathed. Until...
Blue shell!
I mean, Peach was clearly in first place, but whatever. Mario and DK fall into the ocean and the Kongs are taken into custody. Peach! What chance did you think you had with these clowns as your allies? After Mario and DK are swallowed by every 90s kid's digital nightmare, Peach races back to the Mushroom Kingdom to whoa. She orders everyone to evacuate into the forest as she and Toad face Bowser alone. Peach readies to fight, surrounded by Koopas with spears just like her. Can you stop? But then the Bowser amps up the charm, hits her with a light-skinned stare, and proposes marriage. She quickly rejects him until he's like, hey, you know what my favorite burger is? Swiss and mushroom! She then abruptly agrees to marry him under the condition she doesn't harm her toads. Mario and DK have a small tiff inside the eel, then escaped via rocket barrel. Heck yeah! Right before she and Bowser get hitched, Peach double-crosses him and bursts out the Ice Flower, freezing him and going toe-to-toe with the other villains attending the wedding. Oh, and also Luigi and the other prisoners are being lowered into the lava as a sacrifice in Peach's honor. Because the quickest way to a girl's heart is ritualistic sacrifices. This is common knowledge, folks. My girlfriend told me if I didn't sacrifice a goat at our wedding that she'd be leaving me at the altar. Just below, Mario and DK arrive back into the kingdom and go full co-op mode on the goons patrolling the city. To me, this was the best part of the whole film. The frantic yet cinematic rendition of the overworld theme, the utilization of the power-ups, and the now burning desire for a new Mario Bros. Game with DK as a playable character. I want to be Fire DK. Mario then turns into PETA's greatest lawsuit yet, stupid hacks. I think I was like in middle school when this started circulating the news, and I thought it was a Mad Magazine joke. He then swoops in to grab Luigi as he's falling face first into the lava. After a very wholesome embrace, Bowser breaks free and launches the nukes to take out the Mushroom Kingdom. He didn't get what he wanted, so he wants to destroy it all. Boy, I haven't even said the joke yet. What the fuck? But Mario diverts the bomber bill away from the kingdom and into the pipe where his whole journey started. The explosion caused some pressurized chain reaction that merges the Mushroom Kingdom with Brooklyn. Does this mean their world is in an alternate dimension? Or like how the Looney Tunes lived underground in Space Jam? Who knows? Anyways, after an hour and 16 minutes, Mario and Bowser finally meet face to face for the ultimate battle. Just kidding, he gets bitched in like 5 seconds.
Oh, shit!
But Mario, being the stand-up guy he's always been, steps back out to face the music. With the aid of a little kick from Peach, he advances towards the superstar as Bowser charges up a fire blast to take him out. Inspired by his brother's bravery, Luigi leaps out to protect Mario, and together, they wield the power of the superstar, demolishing Bowser's entire army and pummeling him into lizard goo. The day is saved, Bowser's captured, oh lord, and Mario and Luigi elect to live in the Mushroom Kingdom, continuing their plumbing business in this brand new, wacky world. What a happy ending. From first sight, this is a slam dunk, the perfect video game film. Everything you'd want out of a Mario Bros. Movie, right? Well, yes, in some aspects. The animation, for one thing, truly the epitome of those RTX on memes. They took the color-saturated world of Super Mario and breathed new, color-graded, fully textured life into it. And instead of using the base models from the video games, the movie style for me invokes the artwork of Shingai Nakawe, the artist responsible for the 2D renders of the Mario game. I probably butchered saying his name, but whatever. Especially with Donkey Kong and his more expressive, cartoonier face, harkening back to the OG Donkey Kong's look. It was quite a shock seeing characters like Mario, Peach, and Bowser emoting so much harder than their game counterparts. How the animation team were able to make Bowser look and express just like Jack Black at times, I will never know, but hats off to that team. The action scenes beautifully recreate the crazy pace of playing through a stage in a Mario game. And if you blink, don't worry, you won't miss the abundance of references from any and every Mario game you loved growing up. Nothing is too obscure. Some may be more subtle than others, but the rewatchability value in this movie is strong. You could watch this movie over 1,000 times and still find something new. Nothing is too strange. If it's a part of the game, it's in the movie. Power-ups, creatures, locations, platforms, and the music. Original Mario music composer Koji Kondo collaborated with Brian Tyler to reorchestrate all kinds of classics. I don't mean to drag down the Sonic movies, but the Mario movie understood the assignment right out of the gate. They proudly wear on their sleeves that this is a Mario Brothers movie. I saw this opening day, and hearing Bowser's Imperial theme as he descends upon the Ice Kingdom made me giddy all over. I shared an unspoken bond with some dude sitting across from me. Every familiar musical motif had us staring hard at each other, squealing. With the greatest needle drop in the movie, of course, being the theme song from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Knowing there were tons of original songs left on the cutting room floor does kind of sour the experience, but what can you do? And even though we made fun of it online for months, the voice acting really wasn't terrible, in some cases. The cast sounds invested throughout and gives strong performances as their respective characters. The most worrying of the lot, Chris Pratt, gave Mario that courageous oomph we all know he has. Keegan-Michael Key absolutely kills it as Toad, adding more of an ambitious, outgoing personality. And Charlie Day, well, when he speaks, you kinda just hear Luigi. He was ideal for the role. He balances Luigi's trademark cowardice with a bit of sarcasm, charisma, and loyalty to Chris Pratt's Mario perfectly. And Jack Black as Bowser? Chef's kiss, a match made in heaven. Jack's no stranger to voice acting, though outside of the Pusher and Clone High, I don't think he's ever played a villain. And for his supposedly first time, he doesn't mess around. He brings the gravel, the metal, the menace to his portrayal of Bowser and is clearly having a blast while doing it. With that said, he balances all that out with a ton of his signature Jack Black goofiness. At his core, Bowser's a lovesick crooner devoted to the thought of marrying Princess Peach, knowing damn well she wants him dead. It's quite the hilarious contrast seeing him go from a rock and roll tyrant to a lovesick puppy. And thanks to all their connections in the animation industry, Michael and Aaron were able to bring on even greater voice talent, including Kevin Michael Richardson, Carrie Payton, Eric Bauza, Scott Menville, Jessica DeSico, John DiMaggio, and Reno Romano as Bowser's wizard Kamek, the King of the Penguins, Diddy Kong, the blue-shelled General Koopa, rest in peace, Mario's mother as well as Mayor Pauline, and Mario's naysaying hating-ass uncles, respectively. And a lot of them doing double time as additional roles. Hey, if the movie marketing team aren't going to talk about them, I had to. You all know how I am about actual voice actors getting their due respect. How does one describe Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek? He's got kind of a Jafar meets a nasally Igor thing going on with his voice. And really, I'm not sure what else I would have expected him to sound like. Somehow, some way, the man just knew. Menville's voice's Blue Shell sounds like a completely agitated and jaded Robin. He sounds like he was gonna tell the other Titans not to come to school tomorrow. And Eric Bauza is Diddy Kong. It was a perfect emulation of the voice used in the original Donkey Kong Country cartoon. Hats off to him. Again, wouldn't expect anything less from the best. And I wouldn't dream of forgetting about the OG Mario, Charles Martinet himself, doubling as both Mario's dad and Jumpman. Yes, in the movie, his name is Giuseppe, but just look at him. I'm gonna keep calling him Jumpman, as in the original Mario. Now, given what an alright performance Pratt gave, would I have really preferred if Charles did the voice? Yes. Some argue that listening to the original Mario voice for an hour and some change would have gotten very annoying very fast, and I disagree strongly! He's a pro voice actor who could have easily toned down the original voice for the movie. Come on!
What about the accents? Is it too much?
Too much? It's perfect. Wahoo!
Okay, I'm gonna trust you.
Though this would tragically mark the final time Charles would do any voice work for a Mario project, as he'd soon after the film's release retire from the role to become a brand ambassador for Nintendo. Sad, yes, but I do feel this was a pretty epic way to end his role as Mario. Near the end of the movie, Mario's dad embraces his sons, giving one last Martinet-style woohoo and telling Mario how proud he was of him. It almost felt like a sweet passing of the torch, or I don't know, that's just how I interpreted it. And hey, they treated him a lot better than the other voices who were recast without notice from the company. You'd think after all I've said that this movie was a slam dunk stage clear, right?
No.
The story, as well as the pacing of the movie, desperately needed a dose of Ritalin. We're jumping from scene to scene to set piece, and it's all just too much. The story itself is very simple, which isn't bad, but it goes by too quickly. As if they don't want you to think about what's happening or why, just, this happened, isn't it cool? And for a movie called the Super Mario Brothers movie, the Mario Brothers spend pretty much all of it apart. During their time in Brooklyn, you'd think this would be a story about brotherhood, working together to overcome any obstacle life threw at you, whether it be a plumbing job gone wrong or a literal dragon. Mario instilled confidence in Luigi, while he'd always be the one Mario could come to for emotional support. When the world seemed so against them both, Luigi's there to lift Mario back up. And seeing as how Luigi spent most of his time in a cage, how was he able to defeat Bowser's army with such ease? This has been bugging me for years. Oh, but he had the superstar. Shut up! He didn't learn how to use it, or to fight, or the flipping and jumping. He didn't train like Mario. Luigi should have been freaking out after touching the star, while Mario does his best to walk him through the fight. Also, hello reused animation.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
While there was much to like about Chris Pratt as Mario, there was just as much, if not more, to dislike. No matter how you slice it, his voice is just too recognizable as Chris Pratt. He heightens it a bit, and of course has a tinge of a Brooklyn accent. But he could have hammed it up way more. They even joke about it in the commercial at the beginning of the film.
It's me, Mario. And Luigi. Are you tired of paying too much for plumbing? Mamma mia!
See? You can voice act if you try. I would have preferred that one-off gag voice over the one he does for the whole movie, is what I'm trying to say. And you may have noticed while initially discussing the voice cast, I said nothing about Cranky Kong, Donkey Kong, or Peach. Well, ladies first, Anya Taylor-Joy did perfectly fine. But aside from hiding her accent, there's not much to note in her role as Peach. She speaks clearly and with purpose, but what more is there to say? She's a strong and patient leader who will fight to the death for her people. That's it. She's not hesitant, she doesn't really goof off, there's not really much else to her. Now, back when the movie was originally being marketed, YouTubers were trying to force a controversy about this movie making Peach a girl boss. That this was a feminist move to rewrite history or something lame like that. Seriously, seeing some of these people getting visibly angry about a female character with agency was pretty laughable, bordering on disturbing.
It's creepy.
Like, seriously, cool your jets, fellas, please. Yes, she's more often than not the goal of the games. Bowser captures her, and Mario has to save her. But has that always been her lot in life? No, she's had her own spin-off games. In the Super Show, she was a main player and often the voice of reason when the Mario Bros were in a jam. And, oh yeah, she's been a playable fighter in Smash Brothers since Melee. No dip, this girl knows how to handle herself. She outright rejected Mario and Bowser's marriage proposals at the end of Odyssey, for crying out loud, giving birth to one of the greatest internet trends known to man. But back to my point, she's not some one-note damsel, people. That being said, I've no beef with a more active and capable Peach. My issue is the movie forgot to give her a personality beyond being active and capable. The regality, femininity, and motherly nature exhibited in games and other media is non-existent here. Just a very driven, disturbingly war-hungry princess.
We'll annihilate that monster. If you're going to use it now. We beat him there and ambush him.
I suppose I haven't as much to say about the Kongs because they don't do much in the movie. Yeah, the Kong Kingdom is visually cool. Yes, Mario vs. DK was epic, but their portrayal in the movie is probably the vastest departure from their respective game series. In the movie, Cranky's the ruler of the kingdom, whereas in the games, he's retired and lives it up to DK and Diddy to traverse the dangers of DK Island. Not Kingdom, Island. In the movie, he's annoying and big-headed as all hell, and damn it, Fred Armisen's voice just doesn't fit. I know he's a talented voice actor, but his vocal performance here is far from anything acceptable for Cranky Kong. In the games, he's a no-nonsense loudmouth, but is also DK's wise and resourceful guide. The only accurate thing they got from the games is that Cranky is DK's dad, which for some reason they try to highlight as DK's constantly trying to win Cranky's approval, then verbally acknowledges his dad considers him a joke.
At least you're not gonna die with your dad thinking you're a joke.
This concept could have worked if they had more time to flesh it out. As is, it's just a very bizarre inclusion. In addition, Cranky's a pretty shit king, sending his great army into battle via cart fleet, only for them to get their monkey butts handed to them by the Koopa army. They pose no threat. Why Peach thought she stood a chance with them on her side, I'll never know. As for the man or ape of the hour, they definitely nailed his boisterous, dim-bulb personality. He's kind of written like how they did him in that Donkey Kong Country show from the 90s, making him a well-meaning meathead dude bro dude. The issue with DK for me is, of course, Seth Rogen's voice. Now let it be known, I am a huge fan of Seth Rogen. Hilarious actor, great producer and writer, but when it comes to voice acting, no matter the role, he rarely ever tries. He brings a great comedic energy, but he's also just using his regular voice. When DK leans down to the shrunken Mario and laughs, the audience I was with burst into laughter. Nothing funny happened. It was the novelty of Seth Rogen's iconic laugh coming from Donkey Kong's lips. I would have much preferred if they got someone with a higher voice to do DK. If not, just have Richard Yearwood reprise the voice role. Say what you will about the Donkey Kong Country cartoon, but if there's one thing they nailed, aside from the music, it was the voice acting. Donkey Kong having a much higher, nasally, raspy voice was funny because of the contrast to his built and buff body. Or if not the original guy, they should have gotten Greg Sipes.
I don't know. That feels super awesome, bro.
You see what I mean? Or they could have just had him not speak at all. As is, Seth Rogen as DK wasn't the best choice, but he gets the job done? At least a 2.5 out of 5 job. But who needs convincing characters in a well-paced narrative when you've got Easter eggs? Yes, of course it was fun picking out every reference from the games. Yes, hearing cinematic recreations of songs from the series was epic, but it all came at a cost. Hollywood still doesn't seem to understand that throwing a bunch of nostalgic references at the audience doesn't make for an entertaining or memorable movie experience. It'll excite you in the moment, but rewatch it a couple times, and you'll begin to see what little substance there was to the actual story. At some points, it felt like the writers or Nintendo themselves just jotted down all of their favorite things about Mario, then constructed a story around those things. Mario and Toad run through the Mushroom Kingdom. Okay, how'd they get there? The Kongs and Koopas duke it out on Rainbow Road. Cool. How'd they get there? Mario and Luigi do the So Long, Bowser during the final battle. Okay, you get the point. Now before I praise something Mario had over Sonic, time to flip the script. While the first Sonic movie was pretty bare bones in scale, it was only the first outing. Pretty much all set up for the more chaotic storm we'd get down the line. Altogether, the Sonic movies feel like a properly constructed journey for the characters, whereas the Mario movie completely blows its load on the first shot. In fact, you'll end up appreciating the first Sonic movie more after watching the first Mario movie. Sonic left you wanting more to the next sequel, while Mario's very entertaining and energetic, but a bloated, incoherent mess as well. But God have mercy on your soul if you shared any negative feelings about the movie when it first came out, especially on Twitter. The term toxic positivity is tossed around a lot these days, and the initial reception to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, at least from the fans, was just that. People called it the greatest video game adapted movie of all time. Some said it was even better than the Sonic movies. And at the time, I was leaning more towards the latter. In a time where films feel they all need to have some deeper meaning or commentary, it was nice to see a well-intentioned, straight-to-the-point, entertaining movie. But really, stopping to think about it or watching it a few more times over really was just a huge, big-budgeted Nintendo commercial, which I could have forgiven if it had a bit more meat to the story and was in some way, shape, or form self-aware about it. But some of these raving reviews got to a point where they became obsessive, and anyone who dared to criticize the movie in any way became public enemy number one. Of course critics hate this movie. It wasn't made for them. It was made for the fans, for us. It's like critics forgot what fun was. Guys, they have these positions for a reason. They're allowed to not like the movie. You're not allowed to harass them for having an opinion, okay? Okay. That being said, I've never found myself agreeing much with critics either. The Mario movie isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It's a clunky mess, but a good time at the movies. A loving tribute to the franchise, and proves that Illumination can do more than silly minion butt shenanigans. I can say with certainty that the movie was lovingly crafted by real fans of the games, much like the Sonic movies. It could just do with a little more tightening. Let's hope that the Galaxy movie fixed any of the mess that the first one left us with. And hey, maybe if you guys like this review, leave a comment and subscribe and give me more views. I'll be back to let you know. I don't know, maybe if you want. And that's a strong maybe. See, my channel was rapidly approaching the monetization window after this Sonic video, but subs slowed down and the views pretty much halted, so if y'all could please tell your friends and family and whatnot to subscribe and watch my videos. That'll enable future reviews and animations. Please, I don't want to go back to the salt mines. 6.5 out of 10. A middle of the flagpole kind of movie. But that's all from me. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you. Did you guys like the Super Mario Bros. Movie? Do I have all the wrong opinions? Are you excited for the Mario Galaxy movie? Leave a comment below and let's talk about it. I really love reading them and interacting with each and every one of you. If you enjoy my content and want to see more, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more movie discussions, more reviews, more animation, and likely for the reason y'all are here to begin with, more Sonic movie discussion. Until we meet again, friend.